all pray. Gracious and almighty God, indeed we are grateful. We're grateful for life. We're grateful to live in such a beautiful state. We're grateful for the beauty of the fall season and the colors that will adorn our trees. Dear Lord, we are grateful to be in this city. And we ask your blessings and guidance and wisdom to be on those who are called and elected to serve this city. Help us to remember that we are diverse. We are rich and poor, old and young. There are so many folks of which we call neighbors. Bless us, guide us, be with us. For in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk's not here, so I'll go ahead and do the roll call. Steve Arnott. Here. Mike. Here. Doug Flashman. Here. Bobby Yeager. Here. Jim Hughes. Here. We miss Greg Wolf. Not here. Sharon Haynes.
Here.
And Linda Boggins.
I'm here.
Having a quorum present, I now declare the meeting of October the 4th, 7 p.m. in order. Next item on the agenda is the presentation and recognition is the swearing in of a few officers. It's a good day. You know, I came from the police department. Anytime we can get more officers in here, it's a good day. We have been working hard. These three officers, well, tonight there will only be two, but out of the three that we normally have, we would have had, all three are certified officers. They won't take that long to get out here and get on the roads like the last ones have. We've worked hard to get the three officers in here, and we're bringing a special treat with one of the officers tonight. So, with that said, will Daniel Burdett come forward, bring your family. Ready to do this?
Yeah.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Daniel Burdett,
I, Daniel Burdett,
do hereby certify
do hereby certify
that I have been duly appointed
that I have been duly appointed
probationary police officer
probationary police officer
for the police department of the city of Dunbar,
for the police department of the city of Dunbar,
West Virginia,
West Virginia,
by Mayor Scott Elliott,
by Mayor Scott Elliott,
this 4th day of October,
this 4th day of October,
2021,
2021.
and as such,
And as such,
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
of America and the Constitution
of America and the Constitution
of the state of West Virginia,
of the state of West Virginia,
that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of probationary police officer
of probationary police officer
for the police department
for the police department
of the city of Dunbar,
of the city of Dunbar,
and will obey all orders
and will obey all orders
by the chief of police
by the chief of police
of the city of Dunbar
of the city of Dunbar
or his representatives
or his representatives
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I'll take care of the rest. And if you want to say something, go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. We'll be seeing you around, little man. Next one's Voodoo. Now, Roger, come on up. And as you can see, Voodoo's a certified police officer. Roger and Voodoo both came to us from the city of Fayetteville. He will be available hopefully within the next 2 weeks to be fully out on the road. All right, Roger, raise your right hand. I, Roger King,
I, Roger King,
do hereby certify
do hereby certify
that I have been duly appointed
that I have been duly appointed
probationary police officer
probationary police officer
for the police department
for the police department
of the city of Dunbar,
of the city of Dunbar,
West Virginia,
West Virginia,
by Mayor Scott Elliott.
by Mayor Scott Everett.
This is the fourth day
This is the fourth day
of October 2021,
of October 2021,
and as such,
and as such,
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
of America
of America
and the Constitution of the state of West Virginia,
and the Constitution of the state of West Virginia,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of probationary police officer
of probationary police officer
for the police department
for the police department
of the city of Dunbar,
of the city of Dunbar,
and will obey all orders
and will obey all orders
by the chief of police
by the chief of police
of the city of Dunbar
of the city of Dunbar,
or his representatives
or his representatives,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Your signature right there. Congratulations. Now, over the last month and a half, 2 months, I expect, what I've seen happen in Fayetteville, I expect this officer and this dog to be helping us with the drug problem. He has taken quite a bit of money off the streets, and quite a bit of drugs off the street of Fayetteville. If we can get him to do that down here, once he gets used to everything going on in town, he'll be a good asset to us. And you'll see that we're going to end up buying voodoo from the city of Fayetteville also. So that'll go through here shortly. You want to say anything?
I just want to say that we're both kind of grateful right now of given the opportunity. I know that Dunbar is a very good city, got a great chief, good captain, awesome mayor, and we're looking forward to assisting Dunbar in any way we can. Thank you, guys. Oh, okay.
Is dog gonna get a badge?
The dog badge is on order.
Okay.
Is that correct there, Lieutenant? You're going to get that dog's badge ordered, right?
Yeah.
All right, and the other gentleman will be sworn in, I guess, on the next council meeting, everything pending. So, congratulations to both of you guys. Look forward to being around for a while. I can't afford you to go nowhere now. All right, the next item on the agenda is the items or invoices submitted for payment.
Minutes.
Sorry. That's all right. All right, the next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for September 2020.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from September 2021 meeting, council meeting as written.
I have a motion on the floor by Doug Fleshman, seconded by Linda Bogus, to approve the minutes as written for September 2021 meeting. Anybody have any questions or concerns? All those in favor? All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is now the items submitted for payment. Their invoices submitted for payment.
Make a motion, we approve invoices in total in the amount of $109,169.22.
Second. Who's second? I have a motion on the floor by Mike Scipio, seconded by Doug Fleshman, to approve the $109,169.22 for submit for payment. That's $109,169.22. Sorry. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is the ordinance and resolutions, and we're going to have the first reading of the amendments to ordinance 53309 regarding unauthorized use of dumpsters. We got to read through this whole thing.
Mr. Mayor,
Not on the first reading,
Not on the first reading.
on the second.
I think that this change is being made under the wrong section of the code. It's being 533 is the criminal code, and I don't think it's the appropriate place for what they've added to this. Is the first problem I want to talk about. It should be a 950, I think it should be a 951. should it not?
I don't have the code in front of me, I'll certainly look that up if you
Yeah,
want.
533 is the crimes against properties. And I don't think that the changes that they're asking to make about securing dumpsters is gonna be the crime against property.
I'll certainly look at that tomorrow.
So, do we want to table this?
Yeah, but on the motion, we did.
I also have a problem with that. It's not necessarily the article itself, but what it says there in the last line, it says that, any business using a dumpster for trash removal must keep them behind a secure lock fence. In theory, that sounds good. But you're not gonna get all these businesses build a fence around all their dumpsters. First of all. Second of all, you're not gonna get waste management or whoever empties it to empty them because they're locked up.
We already do it. 1, 2, or 3 of them.
2 or 3, yeah. But I mean, I just don't see that happening. I see waste management driving right by and all that trash piling up and blowing out.
I would tend to agree. I think it places a big burden on the businesses to ask them to do that.
I mean, the interior, I think it's great. But it's not practical. I mean, waste management drivers are not gonna stop every place, pull out a key, get out of their truck and unlock it, and then get back to their truck, blah, blah, blah.
It's not up to waste management.
It would be up to the business.
But the business actually may come out 3 o'clock in the morning when waste management comes out.
The problem we're having with these dumpsters is they're even locking dumpsters. And the homeless people are going, or whoever's doing it, are going in there and prying locks off the dumpsters, damaging the dumpsters, breaking the locks, damaging the lids, and still getting them in.
But that's a different problem. That, I mean, we have codes that can be enforced to do that. We're just swearing in 3 more police officers now. I think we give an opportunity. I mean, this places a big burden on a business, and the business is not the problem, the dumpster is not the problem. We all know what the problem is. And the business and the dumpster is not the problem.
They're not the problem. That's true.
Yeah.
But the problem we have is catching the people who are doing it. And we're not being successful. I
I
went
think
over,
we're getting better though.
well, it might very well be, but I went over behind Family Dollar right after Easter one time, and they had taken 2 very large dumpsters, gone through them all, and literally removed everything out of both of them.
And then the city public works to people trying to clean it up.
And if we get 400 phone calls on somebody driving across the bridge, sees all this stuff, and, you know, we're not doing anything about it. And we're just kind of hand tied. I mean, several businesses have fences now. CVS just put one in here not too long ago. And you're right, some of the more high-profile areas don't need them, but you get in behind Kroger's in that area where there's no lights, there's no people. The trash over there is horrendous because they won't stay out of it.
But the police department can identify those areas and tackle those areas. The problem is, we know where they are.
You have to do something to deter it.
I understand, but you're talking, we all agree we need to bring business into the city. How do you bring a business in and say, hey, by the way, you gotta build a fence around your dumpster because we can't keep the vagrants out?
How are we going to bring them in all the vagrants now?
We're not the only ones that have that.
Yeah, we're not the only ones.
I mean, you know, we can make adjustments to it. We have to come up with something to keep them out. And literally, I talked to business owners all over about it when I talked to them about the trash problems they have. And, you know, they tell me, so, you know, we put padlocks on everything, and they just snap them off or pound them off or break the lid of the dumpster.
Which are all illegal, which are all,
Absolutely,
you know,
but
crimes.
we were both cops, or you still are, and I was. We all know how hard it is to watch everything in every city.
I know, when you know you got a problem, that's where we need to focus. And the other thing, Steve, when you look at the 53309, this really references people putting stuff into the dumpsters. It would probably be nice to add to this, people taking stuff out of the dumpsters. Because that, I mean, this code, if you look for the penalties, third offense of this is 30 days in jail, up to 30 days in jail. That's a pretty strict, stiff code already. It just needs enforced. We just need to enforce it.
If you have a fence and lock up there, you're breaking them in, and then you're doing support.
Now, breaking the lock off the dumpster is going to be the same thing as breaking off the fence. I mean,
And the main reason,
Same reason, I mean,
yeah.
the main reason we wanted to put trash around the dumpsters is because they're going through the dumpsters and they're throwing it, and the winds catching it, taking it all over town. Versus if they have a cage around it, they break into the fence, they pull the fence shut while they're going through it, because they don't want to get caught. And then my guys, the public works department doesn't have to go clean it up.
I understand the reason for it, I think it adds a lot of stress to the businesses, and that's not where the problem lies.
No, I can tell you just from visual observations. Walgreens, well, when it was right, they put a fence around their dumpsters. Because I used to watch them every day. They put a fence around, didn't stop at 100%, but about 99.5%. If they happen to catch it open, we'll go through it. But generally, it's locked up and there's not an issue. I mean, we had trash all over that parking lot, blowing through the doctor's office parking lot. And when they put that fence up around it, it virtually eliminated.
I think it's a good idea, I just don't think it's practical. I think you need to look at it. I make a motion that we have, take back ordinance.
Already made a motion.
Uh,
Already made a motion.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Already tabled it and sent it back to ordinance.
That's fine, I'll second that motion.
All right, I have a motion on the floor to table that issue by Steve Arnott, second by Bobby Yeager. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Is there any problem with the first reading of the amendment to ordinance number 95101 and 95102 regarding specification for refuge containers?
I've got some questions. I mean, number, last line of the A says that you can only have 4 containers per household. What if somebody has 6 people in the house? They can be another container.
Go to waste management and ask them, because they only take up 5.
No, this is
This
residential.
is residential.
Same thing. But waste management picks up 5 bags. If anything over 5 bags, they charge you extra money.
I just want to live in the city.
That's right. It's what we pay.
So the $12, $13 that they pay for the trash pickup every month turns around and they pick up 30 bags at one house, and you pay for your 2 bags to get delivered, and they got 30 being picked up. Or is that right?
So the way I read this, if they pick up the trash in my trash cans, which I have with lids, and if I set 2 bags of grass clippings beside them in trash bags, they won't pick those up.
Well, they pick up and you charge you extra for them violations.
Well, that's what it says.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And if you set extra bags out, then they get tore up by animals and, trash.
Anything without a trash, I would go as far as say if they had trash cans for all bags, we wouldn't have an issue with it. It's the problem of all the homeless going through. You can go down Canal Avenue right now and look at all the bags that somebody set out beside their garage when they cleaned their garage out, how spread out they are because they're not in cans and they just go through and they cut the bags of it and spread it down the alley.
But according to this ordinance, anybody that breaks up leaves, puts them in a bag, sets them outside, they're in violation. You had pizza tonight, you throw the pizza box out there beside your garbage can, be picked up, you're in violation.
You buy new appliances, now, if I got a washing machine box sitting out there, it's gonna be a violation.
it's extra trash pickup, which means that you could be charged extra. And I'd like to make another comment. These were all reviewed, and I believe we have already approved these back in the spring. We just sent them to Steve Swisher to clean up the language on them, but I believe if you look back in our notes, these have already approved by council.
So they got by council?
No, I think they were handed out. I think they were handed
I
out.
think they were just
Right.
I think we've approved them, but we have to back them up. But I
I
thought
think it
these
was
were
in
approved
March.
in the past.
It's in March this year.
No, it was brought up.
Well, I didn't know, I'm like, I didn't understand where the 4 cans per limit came either. A house with 1,000 square feet and 2 people gets the same amount of cans as a house with 4,000 square feet and 6 or 7 people. I don't know why we have a number set on
We're basing it off of the same idea that You call waste management, if you got 5 bags, and the 6th bag costs you extra.
I understand that, but I mean, again, that's why most people live in the city for the services we provide. And that's our job, is to provide those services.
How many cans do you think we should?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I know when, well, it was not waste management, it was, I can't remember, when I lived in Dayton, I did 1 can, each can was extra charge. And the only thing they picked up was what was inside the can. And when we discussed how many cans we should have, there was discussions, 4 was too many for us, and up to 2 or 3. So, 4, but I mean, I don't know what the right number is.
Well, the other thing I question, if you get a large family, and I know some families that consist of 6, 7 people, and I can 4 cans of garbage, I just don't think it's gonna make it, you know. For that reason, you know, I'm sure if you look at each one of these houses, they have more than 4 cans. Possibly they lay extra garbage outside their can, I don't know, which is what we're trying to eliminate. But that being said, then when you go down there the next line, you can't put garbage, you can't put anything outside the can.
I think half the problem is that the citizens in Dunbar they get a trash bag, they take it out, they put it in a trash can, they go out the next day and put another one in the trash can. It builds up all week long until, and a prime example is over here on Canal Avenue. They turn around and they fill the trash cans up on Friday, and now it's not supposed to be out till Sunday night. Saturday and Sunday, they're cutting them open and they're spreading it everywhere.
Another thing about that is the old ordinance said that the can could only be, I think it was 40 gallon. And we eliminated the 40 gallon. A very common size cans you buy at Lowe's on those toter brand 90 gallon. So we eliminated the size, so you can't increase the size.
Maybe one size fit all.
Yeah.
They were all metal.
But the first time we did this ordinance, when we went to the standard certified containers for storage of trash, either metal or plastic, our main goal was to make everybody get trash cans, and we haven't accomplished that. I drive all over just Ward 2, and I find all kinds of trash bags laying out on the ground. No trash cans. That's what we got to solve first before we do anything else.
It should help, even more games, they gotta have any games, it should help.
But how are we going to put restrictions on this part, or make people understand this part, when we haven't even got to the other part, without having the proper containers with lids on?
We have those codes, it's just a matter of enforcement.
Right.
And like the mayor already said, again, just like the previous ordinance we discussed, instead of moving the burden to the businesses, here we're moving the burden to the residents, when we all know what the problem is. And, yeah.
Well, one big problem we got.
So we give everybody's
Right,
hospital
it is.
cell phone whenever I go write those tickets, right?
For the
For the
cans,
trash bags
Oh,
being
they
all
already,
over
trust
the
me, they
place.
already got mine, and I know they got those. So,
I have a gentleman that will go out and write these tickets daily.
But we,
If that's what we
our
want.
biggest problem, we discussed it the last time we brought this ordinance up, is all our rental property, and we're not making the landlord do anything about it. That's our biggest problem.
and that code's already in here too.
Right.
I mean, again, we have codes that address all this stuff, we just need to enforce it.
We don't have much trouble with the homeowner.
And I'm not saying they're not getting
It's the
enforced at all.
rental people that,
renters.
Only here, we have in trouble with our homeowners.
I see it as bad.
I think you can, I don't know who owns and rents for the most part. Now, I do know there's some that, you know, have bad spots. But we have, just for instance, on Clark Avenue, we have one spot that I have to go get sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, because she has 40 and 50 bags sitting out there that we have to go pick up. He called me one time, said he seen it from the interstate, and it was only 2 days after we got the truck. And she had already put 30 or 40 bags out on the curb, and it was blowing all over the place, all up down Westmore. But then, now I'm going to get it 2 or 3 times a week. Well, she's only paying 1 time a week, because I've got to go get it, because she's got it out there. I've got to go get it regardless.
it can't be all her trash.
It is.
Where is she getting?
She, has, what did she tell us, 7 handicapped kids?
She don't know the full kids.
I think when you have to go back a second, third time, especially on a regular
Right.
basis, that's something you
Well,
need to do.
for businesses, I mean, I understand the next words, when I talk about things out there, regularly, but for businesses, it was an option for 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. And then, but see, those are specific instances that can be addressed individually without blanketing the whole city. And, I mean, I don't know what we'll do in the next one, as far as the rate schedule goes, but that's something that maybe need to be added if someone needs more, you know, if it was required to be picked up more.
And she's been told to call in to make arrangements for extra pickups and still has not done that. I talked to her personally when I was in public works.
And I have noticed,
EPA will be all
if
over
you all want
that.
me to go behind the truck,
They charge her more.
hand out morning tickets to these people that ain't putting their stuff in trash, I have no problem doing that whatsoever. Try to get a hold of it. I mean, we got a lot of places, Stewart Avenue, that guy puts out probably 35, 40 bags of beer bottles every week. And our guys are picking that up every week.
And then you've got the rolling dumpsters, as I call them, full of dog manure, all over town. Oh, yeah. I can show you where there's
If you guys, if any of you would like to do a ride along, and I can take you with you.
We're not questioning anything like that, Donnie. We're just saying.
Is it necessary to blanket the whole city with the change versus we'll deal with a couple individuals?
Did we ever, I'm sorry, did we ever send letters out to all the owners and landlords of rental properties? I don't think that ever got done. There was a note put in the public service letter, but it was 2 lines, and that was it. I think the letters need to be sent to every property owner and every landlord that has rental property. And then they can't say they didn't see it.
That's something we can do. We can send the letters out, and then when they come in to sign up for city services, we can also give them a list. The problem is these people ignore them. And then we try and bring them to court, they either don't show up for court, or they don't ever pay their fines or anything else.
Where you all see the stuff laying on all over the road, and call the public works department or my office and tell me that we need to get it cleaned up.
I don't think I've ever done that. I can't say that I haven't, but I don't know. I usually do it myself, because I think it's our obligation.
Some of that stuff is just, creative, some of these homeless people get, a lot of it. This is totally a different thing here.
There's always the option of getting a standard can for the whole city that the city purchases, gives to the homeowners, tell them this is what you're going to use to get your trash picked up. Other cities do it, they're required to use it. You can get the trucks that have the lifts on them, you know, whatever. But those are the only cans you can use. And you have to use them, and the penalties are pretty severe if you don't.
We just enforce what we got on the books now, the only bags of garbage laying around. That's my opinion. The thing that concerns me about this particular ordinance is the extra bags.
You tell them you can't have a bag outside the can, but you're only allowed 4 cans.
And you clean up your leaves, or you don't clean up your leaves.
Well, I got a question about that. I mean, how many cans do you need? 4 cans a week? This uses more trash.
Yeah, as a general rule, that's probably correct.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I'd have told you 4 cans were plenty. Now with COVID's around and everybody's staying home, it needs 20. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I see it every day.
Yeah, there's no limit there. You can't go with a big can, but if you put bags in there, they can't weigh more than 30 pounds. So. And it was
Usually,
to comment on
20 gallon toters that you're talking about, usually you can fit pretty good bag inside that.
It might be 1 can per person living in the house.
I make this motion that we table this and invite all you other council people to come to an ordinance meeting, so we try to work this scenario out, what we're gonna do. I mean, we try to get these things on the table, and we come up with something, and then everybody wants to shoot it down. You got an opinion, come to a meeting, and then you voice your opinion at a meeting. Don't show up at meetings.
You don't get those meetings on. We're not all notified. If you're not on the committee, you don't get
No,
notified.
I'll make a motion, we table both these to another day.
We discussed the second, so you talking about second, last?
Third.
We can discuss it.
I only got one question.
So do I have a second on the second?
I say.
The table, right?
Yes.
We're gonna be, second reading, or the first reading of amendment to ordinance 95101 and 95102 regarding specification for refuse containers. The table by Jim Hughes, second by Bobby Yeager. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. We're gonna discuss the first reading of ordinance 95103 and 95113 regarding the time frame for setting out garbage, refuse, and trash collection.
I only have one question on that. The 95105, we're sending that the rates, what rates are we using and what's going to be, I mean, does that take out the whole rate schedule, right?
I don't have it in front of me, but I believe it pertained to the definition of trash. It was a whole list of stuff, included all kind of animal individuals and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Just eliminate the language, but I
Okay.
look at it again, and it's already been taken, so we don't care.
But no, the third one was taken.
Just the first two.
Yeah. I don't have that one in front of me. I thought I had it all. But like you said, that was whenever they were running chicken plants and butcher shops here in town.
There was a duplication, our ordinance was codified by the Green Corporation, whoever, they duplicated F in there, it's in there twice, and so, I mean, I have no problems. I'll meet again, go over these, we'll check out all this, and it'll take what it costs. I'll move it, take it.
I'll second. Table third.
Got a motion on the floor to table for third. First reading of the amendment to ordinance 95103 and 95113 by Steve Arndt, second by Doug Westman. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is the approval of service proposal for the rec center from Centos. You all have that in your packet. With yeah.
Make a motion, we approve that contract, which is $234.33 a month.
Are you gonna make that motion
Yes,
with the, but I mean, are you gonna put in there depending on the contract, how long the contract is?
Big on the 12 month.
So I have a motion on the floor, Mike Scipio, I have a second.
Second.
Seconded by Linda Vargas for the service proposal, depending on how long the contract is available for. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. Next is service proposal for City Hall from Centos.
Make a motion, we approve that contract also in the amount of $309.55 for Monday, and then again, depending on whether it's 12 months.
Second.
Have a motion on the floor by Mike Scipio, second by Linda Vargas to approve the service proposal for the City Hall from Centos with the stipulation on the amount of the contract.
Correct.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. Next on the agenda is the approval of the City of Dunbar's COVID policy. We brought that before the people last week, and I believe all the amendments have been changed to fit what you all wanted. Is there any questions on that?
Make a motion that we approve the COVID policy. As written.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor to approve the City of Dunbar's COVID policy by Mike Scipio, second by Bobby Yeager. Any more discussion on it? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed,
The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is the approval of land reuse agency policy. Everybody got that a few weeks ago. I don't think I have that in my packet here today.
I've read it, and I still don't understand it.
It's a loss in there.
Here it is, yeah, okay.
Steve's here, is Steve Lee?
Basically, it has 5 members, and we have to have this in effect to be able to take this and go to the county. It is one of the tools that we can use to buy some of the dilapidated property from taxes. They will provide us with a list before the auction goes up for the property taxes in November, is that correct, you? And at that point in time, we can go buy for exactly what the taxes are due. We will not have to go through the auction to buy these. And we can take them off the auction right then and there, and they will not be auctioned 18 months from then. If they have not paid the penalty and our money back to us for keeping it for 18 months, then it is our property. We'll be able to do what we want to with the property after 18 months.
This is the guidelines for it, does not include people that's going to be able to.
Correct. It's the mayor, 2 members of city council, and 2 members of the general public who are residents of the city of Dunbar. And I've spoken to the mayor of Charleston about this, because they've got the Jura, what it's called. And that's where they take the property in, and the reason they have 2 members of council and 2 members of the public is to make a decision at some point in time. You may have to tear something down like the church that we're looking at on 6th Street, and may not be able to reap the benefits of it, putting it back up for sale, so you can sell it to the neighbors for what you can possibly regain from it. Not necessarily the same price that we paid to destroy it. But that's the main reason in this.
She can like her calls it just to do for you.
I have to have the permission to apply for the permit for our business. It's basically like a business. And,
It literally is. It's basically, it moves the land use stuff out of city government and into more of a private entity. It will be very beneficial. We'll be able to do a lot more, a lot faster.
One of the questions I have was, it says that you can take on debt, you can borrow money and all that. Is the city responsible for all that debt and money is borrowed if something happens with this organization?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's a city entity, it's just a quasi-city.
basically, we set $100,000 aside at the end of my term or beginning of July, actually, to help with the demolition of the properties and everything else. So it's one of those that we won't be borrowing money. We'll be coming to council and saying, hey, can we appropriate this much money for these agencies, this agency, so that we can go out in November and buy all the taxable property that we can, especially, and we'll have a list, and I don't care, provide everybody in council a list whenever they come up for sale of what, it's 18, or it's a 6% interest on the money that we,
Well,
or 12%, yeah.
we can't lose money on purchase.
And all the money that we get from selling property goes back into.
Correct, it'll go back into that function. I've got one house that's gonna go up for sale, and I've got 6 different people that are saying, we're buying, and it's only $200, if that.
We have this, we can
If we have this, we will have no more than $200 in it, and 18 months from now, we'll be able to go, it's termite infested, it's nasty, the grass is all the way to the top of the fence. That's the kind of property we need to get rid of. For $200, it's well worth it.
And we're not gonna go after the better houses that are rehabable and stuff. I have a bunch of houses that, and I've even worked out a deal with one of the guys who does tax purchases. I tell him what I want, he will literally go buy it for us and donate it in exchange for a tax write.
And this may have,
Just cuts out the middle.
be able to stop that, because you'll be able to go through and buy them beforehand, and we'll just have what they originally go on tax return.
And this will help stop some of the shadier landlords from getting stuff and just barely making it legal to live in. You know, we can start improving the city through attrition.
Now for 18 months, we can't do anything with it, right?
So you can mow the grass.
We can mow grass. And if it's condemnable, you know, somebody might live in it for 18 months if they're, but at the end of 18 months, they don't pay it, they gotta go.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the land reviews.
I'll second.
May I ask a question before?
Okay.
Okay. On, let's see, section 1779.3, the board, over on E, members of the board shall serve without compensation. Any members of the board whose employed city may spend regular work hours when matters related to the board receive the regular pay as approved by the employee's direct supervisor. So that means like, if you'll serve on it anyway, you get your regular thing, your regular pay, right? But somebody else from, that's on there, they don't get paid, okay? And then the next one down is officers of the board. It says members of the board shall annually select among their members, chair, vice chair, blah, blah, all those others. Every year there'll be new people on the board, all of them.
No, you gotta set bylaws with this. And it would be probably a 4-year term. The first term you ever do it, one guy's only going to get a 3-year term, one guy's going to get a 2-year term, and one's going to get a 1-year term. And then everybody after that 4 years will be a 4-year term.
There'll be new officers every year.
New officers, yes, but same members.
Or they could be stay the same too, if they're elected. Curious how people's been on there for 15 years.
This is a copy basically of a version of Charleston's and Nitro's. Everybody that's got one of these, we've taken together and put together.
Okay, so the members of, officers of the board are different than the one that's going to be on.
No. 2 members of council,
Okay.
myself, and 2 members of the general public.
And they will make up your board.
They will make up your board.
Okay, but it says it shall be selected annually.
But
Who's going to be?
the annually portion is if I have, the 5 of us are on there, and you're on there, Jim's on there, and Chris is on there as a civilian, and Jesse's on there. This year, you might be the president of it, next year, he might be the president. If you're elected.
That's what I'm asking. That it will be annually, each position will be an annual position.
You 5 will
But
choose Jack.
you could be on there for 2 or 3 years if everybody in the 5 years agree with it.
Okay.
As an officer.
But what if that person that's selected, that like on council, they don't get reelected, what happens then?
Then their
That their
position
position
is-
will be replaced.
Okay,
For the remainder of their term.
okay, I understand. Okay. On the next page, Article 4, no, not 4, 7. To hire staff, including legal counsel, and to utilize the staff of other city departments as approved by the mayor, including the city attorney's office. I don't understand that part. I'm having a long one, sorry.
If they could come up to my office and say, hey, you're gonna work with them for a couple days on this project. And I'm still gonna get my regular city pay.
Yeah.
But I don't get compensated from the board in any way.
Okay,
You can just pull different, you know, like say Chris needs to do an inspection or fire inspection or whatever. They can say, hey, Chris, run over and have your guys check this out. We're just utilizing city people to do work on this for the board.
okay.
Okay, there's no difference in what we're doing or anything, and I hopefully will work closely with the board when we get this.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm the one that deals with all this stuff all the time anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just, you're not gonna be hiring other people to do the work, it'll be using city guys.
Okay.
From from the legal standpoint, you can use the city attorney, or if the board sees fit to get an outside attorney, it gives you the option to go outside.
And the board will have the funds available to do that, to go outside and get somebody, okay, I'm good,
We'll have to make sure that happens.
okay. Thank you.
Do we have a second? I got,
Just approve on Mike and second on the pleasure.
I didn't hear the. All right, I have a motion on the floor to approve the land reuse agency policy by Mike Scipio, second by Doug Fleshman. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is the approval to set October 30th, 2021 at Dunbar's trick or treat night. I would assume that's probably from 6 to 8.
It is, that's Con County.
That is the county and that's everybody around us. We just need to make sure that we're okay with that.
So here I make a motion, we approve October 30th, 2021, Dunbar trick or treat night, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
Have a second. I have a motion on the floor to set the Halloween for Saturday, October 30th, 2021, from 6 to 8. Jim Hughes, second by Mike Scipio. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is to approve the purchase of K-9 from the city of Fayetteville for $10,162. And this money would be coming from our seizure money. Not a dime of it's coming from the city's general budget. So we just wanted to put this in front of you because it is such a big purchase to let you all make that decision. So.
Second. That's a heck of a deal. Consider it's always with a train and everything.
Yeah, second. Slow down. I have a motion on the floor to approve the K-9 purchase from the city of Fayetteville for $10,162. And Chief, that comes with everything they've got, right? That's the kennel by Steve Arnott, second by Doug Fleshman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is approved to purchase the green lights for the fire chief's car from Rocket Fork Enterprises LLC for $1,165.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the purchase of warning lights for the fire chief's car from Rocky Fork Enterprises for $1,165.
Got a motion on the floor to approve the purchase of warning lights for the fire chief's car from Rocky Fork Enterprises LLC for $1,165. Linda August, seconded by Sharon Haynes. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is approval. I'm going to combine these two.
Okay.
The approval to pay for repairs to police cruiser 43 and 44 from Midway Ford for up to $8,050, or I'm sorry, $16,050, $51.40.
So moved.
Did we say where that money's going?
Yep.
We did. Can you remind me? I don't think we did. Okay. Okay. Just that. Yes.
And I will tell you that it's probably going to be quite a bit cheaper, to $1,000.
Of course.
But I wanted to put it out there in case they made a mistake. The gentleman called me and said that over the weekend, he thought he had made a mistake and not taken the course off. I just want to be on the safe side, so we'll get those two vehicles. Have a motion on the floor by Doug Fleshman, but I do not have a second. I have a motion on the floor by Doug Fleshman, seconded by Mike Scipio, to approve the engine repair, or to purchase 2 new engines for police cruiser 43 and 44 at a price of $8,025.80 each.
No more.
No more than that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. One for a marathon session, right, huh, Jess?
Yes.
We're in the crowd.
All right, so I believe.
Asbestos questions.
Oh, the asbestos, I need a motion for an emergency order.
I second.
I have a motion on the floor by Bobby Yeager, seconded by Mike Scipio, to add an emergency item on the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. All right. So in your packet this evening, you've got some bids from asbestos abatement. The last two were the two that we approved. On the bottom one, 1221 Moore Avenue, that was $750. I've already approved that.
Wrong.
1,500, that's right. That's the one that was mismatched. 1,500, that was within my guidelines, so I went ahead and approved that to get that started. Also, the abatement at 105 10th Street, I was inside there also, and I approved those. The next one is we'll go with the 103 Knox Avenue. This low bid was, there was 2 low bids, actually, the same purchase, same price. It was RS Environmental Incorporated and TLC Property Maintenance Incorporated. Both of those were $3,000. Any recommendation?
RS.
RS. All right. Is everybody in agreement with that?
Make a motion to approve. RS, $3,000 for 3 months.
One second. Have a motion on the floor by Mike Scipio, seconded by Sharon Haynes, to accept the bid for 103 Knox Avenue from RS Environmental for $3,000. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is the following, 156 6th Street, which is the Wedding Chapel Church. The low bid, or the bid that I believe that we're going to accept is the Triad Environmental Consulting for $12,742.28. Is that correct? So I'll take a motion.
So moved. Second. It also be noted that the reason it's so much higher than the others, but they're clean up the building.
All right, I have a motion on the floor by Mike Scipio, seconded by Jim Hughes, to accept the bid from Triad Environmental Consulting for $12,742.28. And that is because they're going to empty the entire building out before they remove all the asbestos. It's just an environmental concern inside of it. The homeless have been living in it for the last 2+ years, 5 years, and it's full of everything. So that is a big piece of property, and they will be able to bring the manpower in, and our guys won't have to do it. So I'll take a motion. Or do I have? Yeah, I've got it. Never mind. I have a motion by Mike Scipio, second by Jim Hughes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. All right, if you all have anything for the department heads?
I got one question. Did you get that letter out down on 17?
I can tell you probably not
No.
the way he's looking.
I was trying to get my brain wrapped around it. I went by it today, I wanted to do it today, didn't happen today, it'll happen tomorrow. All right.
And, 1014 West Virginia Avenue's time is up today. And then officially tomorrow. So then we'll get me a court order to clean it all up. And we're in the process of getting with the state road again for more of the highway area about the homeless living up along the interstate and up underneath the bridges.
We need you to sign it also.
I've got those off 15th Street. I got the signs today for Photograph Corporation, so those can go up this week.
Who's in charge of the day report? We need to get them up around the interstate interchange too. Pretty bad.
No, it used to be,
Steve Walker.
right.
I don't know if he's still there. We could definitely.
Anybody else?
And I'd like to know what happened to providing them tickets for parking the wrong way.
What happened with them?
They stopped.
It's ongoing. It's just not, I'm still looking at all of it.
Nobody's complaining to me.
Well, so it wasn't one big one. But it's been ongoing, actually. I go out every single day and look at and for parking stuff.
The red car's still parked on Payne Avenue. It's been there for 6
Had an
months.
issue, the officer that should have been towing it, had to take off and
I will tell you that there's a problem at the police department right now that they do not have the manpower. As of right now, the chief is going to be working shift work with it because of the manpower issues we have. And we can discuss that after we get out of this meeting.
This was in the three that,
So even with those three, 2 of them cannot be turned loose for sure, and the one that was here has been a police officer for 6 years, but he does not know the city, so we're hoping to be able to get him out here within a week or 2. But there's some issues that we have forward.
I think it's something else.
I don't know about the rest of people, but my packet got delivered Friday night, 7:30, 8 o'clock, by the police chief. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that we're short.
We were out all late Friday night working on a couple problem areas.
2 foot pursuits on bicycles this weekend. What else?
It was busy.
Matter of fact, I can make a comment about these ordinances. We'll work on some more. There's quite a bit of work with this. We got you involved in it. Donnie was very involved in it. You were involved in it. Our committee was involved in it. We even went down to the sanitation department, got the workers involved in it, and got recommendations. I don't know how we come to a consensus or get an agreement about what we need to do, but when we reschedule this, I'll get with Stacy and everyone, make sure that everybody's contacted. But, we got a problem with our trash. When these bags are set out loose, they get tore open by either dogs or homeless, I don't know who does it, but that's a real problem.
I will tell you that it's not the bags of leaves, it's not the bags of grass that get torn open, it's the bag of anything.
But if you got examples of some place that's working, don't bring South Charleston's to us, because they got too much money over there, they take it 2 or 3 times a week and things like that. But, if you got examples, bring them, we'll get rescheduled, but work on it.
I have a couple questions for Donnie or whatever. There at the dentist office, went down this way.
Dr. Beavers.
Yeah, that one. One, as you're facing the building, on the left-hand side, I think it is, there's a hole in the ground that had a piece of concrete slab over it. Someone's moved that slab, And two of the seniors have missed it and stepped down in, and it's a deep hole. And it's, I wonder, nobody broke an ankle or anything. So if you can check on that, it's not on the left side, it's on the right side. It's kind of in the grass part. And then also, the drain that goes down the side of where the rain comes down, the drain. Yeah, where they put the sandbags out there. That's not a permanent solution, is it? When is something going to happen to fix it? Because we had last week, one of the seniors in her wheelchair, when she was trying to go around it and to miss the traffic, she got her wheelchair wheels caught in that drain. The one in the street.
That's gonna take quite a bit of money, because we gotta cut the wall, probably.
We got, literally what we have to do is start at the corner of the building here, take up all the concrete against the building, put the drop inlet in up here, run underground pipe, drop the pipes that are coming off the building into that, and tie all of that into the storm inlet in the street. And then we got to put all the concrete down. So we're looking $9,000.
I'm sorry, how much?
About 9,000,
9,000.
maybe a little more.
But we've got to do something because the seniors that are in wheelchairs that come over, they can't get out to the street and get around it without dodging traffic or getting hung up in the drain.
I understand that. Right now, the way it's set up, we might be able to go out there and take a look at the pipe and adjust that pipe the way the inlet of it. But what is happening is where the pipe daylights at the end of the pipe, when the water comes out of there, it's not close enough to the drain for the drain to take all of it. A lot of it rolls around it and then back down the ramp to the senior center,
Right.
and it goes indoors.
Right.
So the sandbags are there to stop that. I'll take a look at it tomorrow and see if we can come up with something, an alternative, but I'm.
Yes, sir, Manuel Dunbar here.
Just because of the way the pipe solved a lot of the problem, but not all.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, they can't get out into the street with, I know a lot of them do with their wheelchairs, but when they try to be safe on the sidewalks, their chairs get caught in that drain. So that's.
Yes, we need to get it done. It's been on the board for years. Something else we need to get done. We tried everything, just getting the money to do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not just the money either, it's the manpower too. It's gonna take a crew of 4 or 5 guys to get that done. That's a bigger project than the sidewalk because of the way it's designed. So it's gonna take probably 10 days and 4 or 5 guys to get in there, get it cut out, get it bedded, and the box put in, you know, everything that needs to be done, so.
Are we down on manpower in the public works department too?
For construction crews, we're going to catch the grass too.
Okay.
And when grass season's over with, we free up a couple of guys, but as of right now, construction crew's kind of hot.
We also have, people out at the dump 24/7 right now. It's at our old city limb pile. We have a permit from the forestry division to burn all that. Until that's completely done, somebody has to sit with it 24/7. But that way, whenever our new chipper comes in, we'll be able to put it to use and put it all out there too.
And we still have 135 feet of road.
Oh. Okay.
We'll get it as quick as we can.
We'll just have to pray harder. We'll just have to pray harder.
Yeah. Well, you know, it wasn't too bad till we got that major downpour and it come through there and we spent 2 or 3 days downstairs trying to clean it up, and then you've always got the issue of black mold down there. And by putting the sandbags out there, we didn't get a drop in there the last time.
So that tells you where your problem is.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we know we got a problem with electric power, and so
It didn't even come in there. It come in down the ramp.
Sure took care of the front door.
Sure did. All right, anybody have anything else? Jesse sitting there chewing his finger. All right, I'll take the motion.
Mr. Mayor, if there's no other city business, I move that we adjourn this meeting.
I haven't seen you for a while.